Hello Canterbury and welcome to Canterbury Live on a beautiful, beautiful Wednesday, the 26th of November. It's so divine out there. Might be a nice night to take the family out for a walk, take the pooch. It's just too gorgeous, except for sitting down and watching Canterbury Live right now. Now coming up on today's show, yes, the heat could be rising and you may need the help of some aircon. And we've got an EnviroMaster in today speaking with Grant, so maybe you can fill us in exactly with the perfect option for your home or potentially your business. We head out to Rangiora Vets and we're talking about ear health with our animals, which of course, you know, our children have select hearing, could be our pets as well. And elite pest control, remember that word borer? Can you remember borer? In fact, even though I had a piece of furniture, probably had a bit of borer in it. Well, it is still around, so we talked to Elite Pest Control about that. But you may listen to the music. Let's check out, go back in time to a classic movie.
Ladies and gentlemen in the audience, we need you to help us replace some of the divots out here on the grass. So come on out now.
Come on, folks. You heard her, the stomping of the divots. This is a time-honored tradition, ladies and gentlemen. As old as the game of polo itself, kings and queens used to do this.
She's sweet, Edward. Wherever did you find her?
976, babe.
Only one word of advice. Avoid the steaming divot.
So, I'm now joined by Lizzie Dyer, Ronald McDonald House. Can you promise if Richard Gere will be there?
Oh, wouldn't it be good? I don't know, but there will be lots of really nice people there.
And you said you had a dress like Julia Roberts.
Many years ago, but never wore it to the polo.
Well, let's get to the polo. It's Fashion at the Polo, of course, a fundraiser for Ronald McDonald House. When is it happening?
Right, so we've got the 11th of December is our Fashion on the Polo Field, which is brand new for this year, so it's really exciting. We've never done this before. For 6 years we've done a luncheon at the Polo, which is on the Saturday, and that sells out every year. So we thought we'd utilise the marquee, which is a 65-metre marquee, and do the Fashion on the Polo Field and showcase some of Christchurch's fashion. We've got some lovely models from Portfolio Model Agency. The hair's been done by Corkin and Friends, and the makeup and everything's been done by Kristen Stewart's School of Makeup.
Which is great, so it's a win-win all round.
Yeah, and all those lovely people have donated their time. So all the models have donated their time, the people doing the hair and makeup have donated their time as well. So it's a really kind, really cool event.
Well, there it goes there. Love the pink. And there it is, Fashion Polo on the field. So for the event, how much are the tickets? Let's cut to the chase.
The tickets are $60 per person, so you'll get a welcome drink on arrival. There'll be polo playing. The gorgeous Mandy Pickering will be singing with her husband. Then we've got the fashion show, hosted by yours truly.
Wow, yes, I will be there. I better dress something fashionably
brown and white dress, maybe.
A brown and white dress. Oh, actually, you just put something out there. Now, it's going to be a fun evening, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
But the underlining fact is that all of the proceeds go to Ronald McDonald House.
Correct.
Wow.
So,
it's going to be pretty awesome. Let's go through the fashion houses so we can tempt us and
yes, now I'm going to read this because I don't want to forget it.
No, I appreciate
and not
that.
necessarily in any order. But
I'll ooh and ah as you read through your list.
Okay. So we've got Duval, Angela Stone.
Oh, I sort of know her.
Yeah, I think you do.
Sort of, kind of. Yep.
Essimo Shoes from Merivale. Beliza, which is a really cool boutique out in Taitat, which is where the event's held.
Oh, neat.
Sarbouge over in Akaroa, for those of you that have been over there. For the men, we've got Working Style.
Cool.
We have got Repertoire from the Colombo and also Anna Stretton as well.
Oh, neat. Anna Stretton, she has some really funky stuff, doesn't she?
Yes, she does.
It's really cool. And you're going back to the models, so they are all modelling for free?
All free of charge. They've all given up their time. So the whole evening, from the people that are donating the nibbles to the, all of that sort of thing, like your lovely self, they're all doing it all in the sake of charity, for the name of charity at Ronald McDonald House.
Let's talk about the nibbles, because we were talking the other night about it, that you have a very, very modest company. Modest, I'm meaning they don't want any credit at all, but I think we should give them a bit of a plug,
I think we should. They're amazing. So, yeah, Lincoln Hospitality. We've had a long relationship with them for years. They've done the polo for us for years. So to give you an idea, at the luncheon they do 550 people, and they won't charge. When we try to pay, they say no. We love the charity and we want to do it.
That is phenomenal. I mean, 550 people, and for a business, that is a lot.
I know.
A lot to
and
give.
Then a few weeks later, they do the Christmas party for the families in at Ronald McDonald House. And during the time of the earthquakes as well, we had no kitchen for 18 months, and they were absolutely amazing and incredibly generous. So
it actually makes the heart quite warm, doesn't it? When
it does.
Everyone's giving so generously for the evening. And we can't forget about the polo.
Yes.
I shouldn't say polo, but I just feel I have to say it like that. But that'll be happening outside the tent.
Yes, it will. So it's
cool.
At the Port Hills Polo Club on the property of Dean and Joe Geddes, and it's, as I said, we've been doing it there for years. It's great. We've got this massive marquee. So the polo will be happening. So it's happening on the Thursday, and then there's the big tournament as well on the Saturday. So that will be happening in amongst it. It's a little bit like the races. Some people are there for the horses. Some people are there for the social side. It's a little bit of everything will be there.
Hey, just putting on the spot, but wouldn't it be a cool thing to go with your girlfriends or for a group at work? Because it's on Thursday, it starts at 6 o'clock.
Correct.
So that's a perfect time. No, there's in between time. You know, when you finish work and you've got to find something to fill in on the way to another event, you could go straight there from work, Lizzie. Straight
there, and we've got people doing that. And then the formalities finish at 8 o'clock, and then you could head off into town if you wanted.
Yeah. So it's not a late night at all.
No.
So it's $60 for the ticket, and that is to get a little nibble and your first drink for
complimentary
free.
drink, and there will be a bar there with FPOS. And the other thing that we've done as well is all of the fashion houses have donated something special, whether it's an item of clothing or maybe a styling, and that will be auctioned off again all for Ronald McDonald House. So.
How awesome. Hey, thanks Lizzie. I look forward to seeing you on the 11th. We'll talk before.
Perfect.
To the big fashion at the Polo. I'm really looking forward to December 11th, $60 for a ticket. Just go to the Ronald McDonald website and you can find out all the details. Stay with us after the break. Oh, it's getting hot in here. We may need some aircon. And Viromaster.
敬请收看 CTV Freeview 40频道首档华语原创系列电视节目 Chinese in Canterbury. Join us in watching Chinese in Canterbury on CTV.
Looking for that perfect gift for a loved one? Wanting to add some vibrance to your home, or just looking to brighten up your workplace? No matter the occasion, the Hitching Post has something for everyone. Lose yourself in their extensive range of homeware, art, glass and plasma cut metalwork. The Hitching Post is your one-stop shop for great style and quality. So come on down to the Hitching Post, 722 Marshland Road.
Action Removals, offering short or long-term storage facilities, full packing services, comprehensive rates, all fully insured and with 6 vehicle sizes to choose from. Earthquake repairs? Action Removals pack, move, store and return your valuable possessions stress-free. Action Removals, a family business that has been operating in Christchurch for over 10 years. Action Removals, your one-stop removal service on time, every time. 0800 222 526.
Avoid the monkeys when it comes to relocating. Trust A1 Movers, a family business since 1993 that guarantees a professional job every time. We carefully handle and wrap your valued items, ensuring they have a safe journey. Secure storage and insurance options are also available.
A1 Movers, the careful, caring moving company.
Oi!
Let's face it, everyone has an agenda. And guess what? So do I. Every week, I'll pick 3 stories that grab my attention.
Agenda with me, Brent Goff.
Well, on a warm day like this, that little fan you may have in the corner room is not really doing all it should, and that's why you need to call on Enviromaster, in particular Grant and his team. Welcome to Canterbury Live.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me.
I mean, it's a great advertisement today, isn't it? If you don't have any aircon in your house, you open up the door to hot heat.
That's right.
You know, hot heat. Does that make sense? That's a bit Irish, isn't it? But you know what I mean? So the heat just floods through a home when you're trying to cool it
Yeah, well,
down.
that's the best part about a heat pump, as people call them in New Zealand, is that they'll heat in the winter and cool in the summer. No other appliance will do that for you in a home.
Yeah, it's great. So what kind of brands do you sell through Enviromaster?
At Enviromaster, we sell predominantly Panasonic, Fujitsu, Mitsubishi and Daikin. They're the four main brands in New Zealand as far as numbers sold, and have been here for a long, long time. We have access to the Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, the Toshibas, Hitachis, LGs and the likes as well if people are wanting them.
But you are dealing with those core brands,
deal with the core brands
quality.
Yeah.
And the ducted systems, tell us about those.
Well, ducted systems are becoming more and more requested, in particular with new builds and retrofitting actually. Because with ducted systems you can have a vent in each room, blowing air all around the house.
Actually.
Yes, that's right. Yep. So what happens is it'll draw air in from one place or two places and blow heat all around the house, so that everywhere is a uniform temperature.
Isn't that brilliant?
And it's much quieter than a lot of high walls and the likes, and not intrusive. You hardly see anything.
Cost saving?
They look a little bit more expensive than a high wall for sure.
Yeah.
But if you were to have high walls and a ventilation system, then you're getting close to the price of a ducted system.
Oh, very good. And that quiet thing is quite good as well.
Yes.
Yeah. What's the important things that we should really think about, Grant, before we actually select an installer?
Well, the main thing that you need to do is make sure you go to someone who knows what they're doing. Unfortunately, in our industry, some manufacturers will sell to the big box retailers who will allow you to go in and buy one, walk out the door with it and have no idea what size you should have or where it should go in relation to where you're sitting. When we go and consult people, what we do is we measure the area that we're trying to heat. We look at where the furniture is and try to position something, so a heat pump, so it'll heat the space without driving you mad, for one. Make sure it's the right size, for two. And three, make sure it's installed correctly.
So here we have a home here. So this is we talk about choice and where to actually place it, because you don't want it to be an eyesore, do you?
No, you don't, but of course you also don't want it to be blowing on you or at you. That's the most annoying thing. Otherwise people will adjust the louver so they don't work effectively.
Right.
Or they'll inherit, So it's really important that they're positioned so that they'll heat the space and do the job you want.
And be efficient.
Yes.
That's the key, isn't it, really?
Yes.
And of course, once we get them in our homes, though, we need to maintain them. We can't just leave them to their own devices, can we, really?
No, that's right. The manufacturers recommend that they're maintained on an annual basis. And the main reason for that is to make sure that the indoor units are kept clean, the outdoor units are kept clean, and this time of year, it's really important to make sure the drain's clean. Because the first time you turn it on to cooling, and if you haven't maintained it, there's a good chance it might start dribbling water inside your house. And as a result, it could be dripping on TVs or furniture or whatever. So
expensive, ouch.
Yes, so it's really important for its efficiency and its effectiveness and hygiene to make sure they're maintained properly.
So on that maintenance, just to put it out there, if we haven't purchased from you, can you still offer that service of maintenance?
Yes, we can service any brand. Doesn't matter whether it's some random Chinese one even. We can go and look at that, service it for you, and we repair them in most cases. Sometimes some of the oddball brands are a little bit hard to get parts for, but all the leading brands are fine. You can get parts for them, no problem, and we can service them. And we don't have to have installed it. And even if somebody else has installed it and it's still under warranty, we can still take care of the warranty issues for them.
A great idea, though, also, I'm just thinking now, for if you're residential property management, if you've got a series of properties, it's a great idea to have one company as an Enviromaster to go in and actually look after those heat pumps, because at the end of the day, you need to maintain what's in the house. Do you have currently any specials?
Yes,
offers at the
lots
moment?
of specials. We have a service special, $99 for one heat pump and $30 for two, an extra $30 for each one after that. And for the domestic side of things, we have up to $800 off heat pumps for homes.
That's fantastic. So really all we need to do now is just have a conversation with yourself, Grant, or part of the team at Enviromaster, and get you around and just have that chat about what's best for our home.
That's right.
Great, thanks for joining us. That's Enviromaster 41A Shakespeare Road in Waltham. Phone 03 366 0525. A great website, enviromaster.co.nz. Wow, pesky little devils. Bora. We talk with Elite Pest Control after the break.
Arts 21 showcases the vast creative talent and minds that are making a name for themselves in Europe and beyond. Think outside the square with Arts 21.
Are you having trouble with your old mower or just have too much grass? At Mead Mowers and Chainsaws, with our wide range of Husqvarna mowers, no job is too big or too small. We stock rotary, ride-on, zero turn, out front articulated riders, and robotic order mowers. We have the Husqvarna mower for you. Call in and visit Gavin or Peter at Mead Mowers and Chainsaws.
Hi, I'm Mark and welcome to Staywell Pharmacy. At Staywell Pharmacy, we do more than just dispense prescriptions. As Canterbury's most experienced supplier of compression hosiery and travel socks, our friendly staff can assist you with all your needs when it comes to looking after your health. Whether you're recovering from surgery, taking that overseas trip, or wanting to stop those tired, aching legs, Staywell Pharmacy has you covered. Bookings are essential. For a new direction in your future health, call us today. Staywell Pharmacy. Live well, stay well.
Best friend on holiday to Snuggle In Boarding Kennels. We pride ourselves on having a safe, clean and fun environment for your canine companion. With heated floors, an indoor-outdoor flow, large play and exercise areas and room service provided by our experienced animal care staff, Snuggle In is simply the best for your pet.
Hi, I'm Jude Kirk. Join me weekdays for Let's Go Shopping.
Well, you may have a pest of burden, oh yes, like that, and you may need Elite Pest Control. Today they are talking Bora. Well, where was Elite Pest Control when I was a teenager and my furniture in my room had Bora? No, it wasn't little pinpricks in it, it was actually Bora. Dawn, what is Bora?
Bora is actually a little beetle that emerges out of the wood, but before that it's a larva. And the larva will live in the wood up to 4, sometimes 5 years, and just eat all the lovely softwood and make lots of little tracks in the wood that you don't see. And then once it's ready, it pupates into a beetle. It cuts an emergence hole and then comes out basically just to lay eggs again, either in the back, straight back in that same hole, or in a crack and crevice that isn't painted or varnished.
So what is the obvious signs then, Gary, that you've got Bora in your furniture?
Well, the holes you mentioned.
Yeah.
And another thing about Bora is you'll see them, they fly, so you'll see them at this time of the year. And they're like a little ladybird, but they're brown, they've got no spots on them.
Oh.
And so if you see little beetles like that, that's Bora, and they'll fly from neighbours and everything. So it's a good idea if you've got a wooden home to do an annual treatment. So treat the outside the house so that all these Bora that fly around come, crawl on the surface, take in some of the treatment and die. And that's what we recommend to control Bora. Yep.
And you have two different, you've got a toxic and a non-toxic remedy, don't you?
That's right. So that's for the subfloor Bora or the ceiling, so that's exposed timbers, that's not painted or varnished,
okay.
And that can soak in a little bit. So the non-toxic version is boron, a mineral, and it has to be done twice. And that's got good residual quality, so it lasts a long time. And then the toxic version or the insecticide version can be done once, and that has the same type of residual properties.
We've got some images as well, so
Yep.
we can have a look at those guys and see exactly what's going on. Yeah, there, exactly. I think we've all seen that, haven't we?
Yes, yes.
On wooden houses.
So that timber there is obviously softwood, so sapwood, and that's why you see one board affected and several not affected, because the other ones are harder, so they like the softer wood. And that's going up into a ceiling.
Great shoes, Gary.
Yes. And it's quite an involved job doing that type of work. It's very difficult and physically taxing work. So when it's not a very cheap process to do, you could be spending, you know, $1,500 to $2,500 to get it done, but it is long term.
Yeah.
And as you can see, you have to be kitted out, and it's very, very physically taxing. But you know, we can get the job done for you and give you some long-term protection in your subfloor and your ceiling cavity.
And especially when you're investing in a beautiful villa or a wooden home, and you've obviously found love with the character and the style and the quality of the home, why wouldn't you invest the time and the money to actually get it right? Wouldn't that be right, Dawn?
Well, that's right. And a lot of times people are investing in these lovely homes and they want to get it insulated. And we really encourage people to think about getting a borer treatment done before the insulation, because once the insulation is done, it really is not a treatment that we can guarantee a good result with.
Yeah, and now with EQC, of course, in some of these homes, they potentially could be exposing the borer.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of these homes have no linings, and if you've got an outside wall and inside covering, you can't get into the middle. But we are finding homes now they have no linings because they're being fixed, and we're going in there and spraying those timbers that never get treated. So it's a great opportunity for long-term protection.
Dawn, especially thinking woman to woman, it's not a very sexy thing to be buying, is it? When I think, oh, I can spend that money on borer control, but necessary for the home. What do we do if we're watching today and we think, yeah, I should really, instead of putting the blinkers on, actually give you a call?
Well, I think it's information and education. A lot of people don't know much about borer or how it works. A lot of our overseas buyers have never heard of borer at all. So it's giving the office a call, talking to Mel. Mel can then arrange for me or Gary to visit and do an inspection and a quote, and that would be the time to ask all of the questions that you need to ask. How long's borer? Yeah, it's very, very easy.
Great. Well, that's what you need to do. Simply call through to Mel, is it? Mel. Oh, a bit of a shout out to Mel. Good on you, Mel. To take her calls about that borer and any of our other pests. Elite Pest Control, 27 Cashmere Road in Christchurch. Phone 03 332 1962, or go to that fantastic website. It's elitepestcontrol.co.nz. Well, on tomorrow's show, we catch up with the Wine and Food Festival, because, of course, that's hitting town next weekend. A very fine way to spend a day. And Phyllis Brown is in to talk to us as well. Now we're out to Rangiora Vet to talk about ear health. Have a great evening. See you tomorrow.
Today at the Rangiora Vet Centre, Sophie talks to us about ear disease in dogs, and Blue comes in for a checkup.
So we're here today to talk about ear disease in dogs. It's quite a common problem, we see it a lot. It's often seasonal, so quite often in the warmer months, so the spring, summer and autumn, we see a fair bit of it. There's lots of different reasons as to why your dog might have ear disease, and when we get the dog in a minute, I'll talk to you about what the signs and symptoms are that you need to look for. However, I thought first I'd just talk to you a little bit about how the dog's ear is different to a human ear, and what makes the problems that dogs come across slightly different to deal with than, say, your generalised human ear infection. So I've got a poster on the wall that I'll show you, and this is a diagram of a dog's ear. As you can see, this is the outside of the head here. The ear canal in a dog, it actually goes down and then in. So the ear canal is L-shaped, whereas in the human, it pretty much just goes straight in. So when the doctor looks in your ear, he looks in at that level, through your ear there, and can see all of this stuff in here, and this is the eardrum or tympanic membrane, and that's really important when we're talking about medication later on. But it does make it tricky for us as vets trying to examine this eardrum here. We have to pop a little tube down here and then gently tilt it so we've got a visual on the eardrum here, and we need to do that to make sure that it's all intact with no holes in it. Holes heal up easily normally, but they can be caused by infection, so if your dog's got an ear infection, we need to make sure that this bit looks healthy. This is the middle part of the ear here, and if any of the drugs that we use to treat infections it has to stop at that membrane there. It cannot go into this compartment. So this is Blue. He's got lovely big floppy ears, which quite often adds to ear problem issues in dogs. Dogs that have these lovely floppy ears don't tend to have great air circulation, and it can mean that their ears become more infected quite easily. So the first thing I do when I look at them is have a look and see what they look like. And we can see here that the skin's a little bit pink. It's not too bad, but it's a little bit pink. And the other thing is that they do smell a bit yeasty, so it's possible that he might have a bit of a yeast infection in there. We check both ears, make sure they're both the same, and we have a bit of a squeeze as well of the ear canals to make sure that, he's quite liking that, to make sure that they're comfortable. So remember, as I said, the ear canal in the dog, that's the opening there, and it goes down and then in. So I'm going to have to try and do two things to try and work out what's going on with this dog. I'm going to take a swab and have a look under the microscope and see what kind of bugs are causing the infection. And I'm going to have a look down with the otoscope to make sure that there's nothing stuck down the ear like a grass seed, and also to make sure that his eardrum's intact. Because remember, we need that to be nice and secure if we're going to put any medication down the ear. So again, we go down the downpipe like that, and then we gently tilt it outwards. Oh, good boy. It's a little bit uncomfortable going around the corner. Good boy. Perfect. And his eardrums are absolutely fine. So that was a really good example there of shaking his head, and that's what dogs with ear disease tend to do. So that's something that the owners might notice, is that your dog has either got its head on its side, shaking his head like that, or scratching with a back foot. So I've just had a look down the microscope, and Blue's ears are both clear. So there's no sign of any bacteria or yeast down either ear, which is great news. So he doesn't need treatment this time. But it's important that any time he's shaking his head or having a scratch at his ears, that we make sure that we swab them first to make sure that they really are clean and that they don't require any treatment. This dog doesn't have any infection down his ears after looking under the microscope, so I'm just going to demonstrate with a little bit of saline, so that's not going to hurt his ears and it will give them a bit of a clean, but it's the same procedure as if you're putting drops down your pet's ears. So it's important when your vet gives you medication that you measure the correct amount. So a dog of this size normally gets about 1 ml. So you can see there's a slight air bubble there, but then I've drawn up 1 ml into that syringe, and I'm going to put 1 ml down each ear of this dog. Now the important thing, apart from being accurate with your measurements, is putting it in the right place. So Blue, if you sit, so it's really important that it has to go down the downpipe. So we've got the ear here, there's this first ridge here, and the ear canal goes down there. So I need to place my syringe actually into there, and then gently trickle it down. And he's obviously going to feel that and think it feels a bit weird. I'm holding his ear up here, and then down here you can actually feel the ear canal. It feels like a tube of pasta or something under the skin, and you've got to give it a massage. And can you hear that noise? So that is the noise you should be able to hear when your dog's ear is being medicated appropriately. So I'm now massaging that so it goes down into the horizontal canal, and that's quite normal for them to shake their head once you've done that, and that also helps distribute that medication. Good boy. Well done.
Join us next week when Jack Russell Walter visits to check the health of his skin, and Sophie explains the complexities of skin disease.